Here, we'll wrap this thing up. Injury front-wise right now, I think we're gaining ground. Probably the only guy that has no chance to play is Jeff Tarpinian. It's just my, he had a pull-out last week. He worked on Sunday a little bit, but, even if he's 100% cured today, I just don't see him, having enough volume of work. So outside of that, I think everybody's got a chance to play in the game. Captains this week will be King and Kroll again on defense. We've got Bruggeman again offensively, and we'll add Seth Olson to the group. So those will be our four guys. Certainly pleased with the Saturday's results. I think we're doing some things well out there, and that's a good thing. Fan support's been tremendous. Very, very appreciative of that. Say that one more time. And then that being said, we've got a bigger challenge this week than we've had the last two, no question about that. And Iowa State's, probably like us, I think both teams have improved from a year ago. Very impressed with everything that we're seeing about them. They're playing hard. They're well coached, good scheme. More importantly, the players, I think, know what they're being asked to do, and they're doing an excellent job of it. And they're playing opportunistic football, which is what good football teams do. And they're creating a lot of positive situations, be it the turnover situation. Then the other thing that's really factored into their production has been their special teams. They've played excellent in all phases and have addressed some things that were probably concerns for them. The guys kicking right now are doing a good job, and clearly when you block a couple punts, that really helps out, and that's a sign of good coaching and good execution. So, but I think that's if you look at the return yardage, for and against, all those kinds of things, they're doing a great job on special teams. So they're playing well, and it's the challenge for us is to get a lot better here than we've played the last 2 weeks, and we've got about 4 days to do it.
Kirk, what have you seen out of Ricky that gave you the confidence to put him on that top line over the other?
So far he's played well. It's and this is pretty much based on what's happened since August. I'll say it one more time. I think both guys have really done a good job in all the situations that they've been in. And the thing that motivated us to start Rick last week, we didn't have a chance to see him as a starter. It's the first time we got an exposure at that. I think he handled it well. But there are a lot of things we don't know about him yet. We really haven't seen him in tight circumstances on the game field. We've seen him in those circumstances in practice, and based on that, we think he's going to do just fine. But a lot of things he hasn't experienced yet. And I made reference a week ago or whenever it was. He hadn't been sacked 40 sometimes yet, and Jake took one in the chin on our first ball game. He got rid of the ball, but he took one under the face mask, and those things aren't fun. And Jake's been through a lot of not fun things, and it wasn't fun for him Saturday. I know having to come out and visit with the media afterwards, but he's done a great job in all those circumstances, and that's why we think so highly of him. But I'm sure Rick will do well, but there are a lot of unknowns yet. It's not like we're ready to crown him king or anything like that. And it's kind of like our football team. I mean, we've played hard, but we really haven't done anything yet either. So maybe he's representative of our team at this given stage.
What did the film show? What did you take away from the film like that stands out there?
I think you guys saw the game. I think pretty much what everybody saw. He operated well, made some good throws. He did some things wrong too, and hopefully he'll make improvement this week.
Do you anticipate any kind of rotation at all, or
don't have a set plan right now, but we'll just play things by feel, and it's just we'll see how the game plays out. But at this given point now, we'll just kind of see how things go. And they'll both work this week in practice. Get some work. I'm sorry, what's that? It's possible, but we haven't really, and we'll see how the week goes too. See how things, this would be his first, a lot of firsts. But this is Rick's first week of practice after starting a ball game, and see where his head's at and see how he's practicing too. It's we got a couple situations like this, and we're not unpleased with anybody. It's just a matter, who's doing the best at any given time.
How pleased are you with the offensive line?
They're making progress. It's like a lot of things on our team. We're making progress, but when you look at the tapes too, there are a lot of things we need to do better, can do better, and we'll have to do better this week because they've got an excellent coaching staff, and they're gonna try to. They're watching the same tapes we're watching, so things that we're not doing real well, they're going to try to exploit. And, you know, I think the level of competition clearly goes up, especially given this series. I mean, it's you know, it's going to be a tough ball game. So we're going to have to take a couple steps this week, not just one or two, but a couple.
That offensive line has to take care of the blitz.
Yeah, I imagine we might see a couple of them. So, yeah, that's a big part of it, and our backs are going to have to do a good job in the pickup. And then in cases where we can't get a body on the blitzers, then you know, the quarterbacks and receivers have to be on the same page. So it's intricate, and we're going to have to be sharp because it's coming.
Do you have any concerns with Ricky getting a big head after the fight?
I don't, but, you know, again, I've never seen him in this situation. But, yeah, again, he's a lot like our team. It's not like we've done anything yet. I mean, you know, we've won 2 games. We won 2 games last year, and, you know, the season didn't have a happy ending. So, you know, I think all of us just need to keep that in mind. I mean, we've done some things well, but we've got an awful lot we can still improve on. I think it's probably true of every individual on our team right now.
You guys haven't been challenged at all. Iowa State really had the fight to go off last week. Are you concerned that the fact that you guys haven't been pushed out?
No, I'm not concerned. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. And, you know, we've tried to challenge guys in practice and what have you, and sometimes we look good and sometimes we don't. But that's part of the season, and certainly in the next 10 weeks, starting with this week, we're going to be in plenty of those situations. So yeah, that's part of the growth process, and it'll be interesting to watch how we respond.
In watching your tape, are Philip Bates and Austin Arnott similar enough quarterbacks where you can get by with one game plan, or do you have to?
No, I think clearly if you just look at the statistics, yeah, both of them, neither of them are afraid to run it. But you look at the statistics, and you know, Bates has really been productive with his feet. Both of them will throw it and can throw it and do throw it and do a nice job throwing it. But you know, they're both capable. They're both dangerous performers. But you know, statistically, you got to probably give a little bit of an edge to Bates as a runner. But you know, that doesn't mean Arnott's a slouch. And you know, one thing for sure, odds of getting a sack on either guys, you know, it's going to be. Yeah, it's just probably not. You know, don't sit around waiting for too many of those because you're not going to get many chances to sack those guys. They're going to get the ball out, or they're going to take it and run with it, and so we're going to have to be sound with our whole team defense.
You get to spend extra time in. They have 2 quarterbacks.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you have to spend extra time, I think you have to worry about both guys in both categories, and the way their offense is set up. You have to respect the run, including the quarterback run. No matter who's in the ball game, you just have to be alert for that and sound for that. And you know, if you're not, you're going to be in trouble. You know, we lost contain a couple times the other day, and you know, we do that this Saturday, we're going to pay for it. You know, there won't be a shutout on the board then. I can promise you that.
What do you have to say to the students that they don't take this game as seriously as some Iowa fans would like?
Yeah, I'd say they're probably misinformed, but you know, everybody's entitled to their opinion. It's a great country. But, you know, like, yeah, we think every game's pretty important. I thought the last 2 were important, too. Yeah, we expect him to. If he gets through the week, he's making progress. And, you know, two questions. You know, how effective will he be? And then the second thing is, how long can he go? You know, how many plays could he actually play and be effective? So he's missed a lot of time, and that's really the case with all the guys we're dealing with here. We've got a lot of guys that have missed time. So to think that they're going to come back and be at the same form the other guys are, you know, it's probably not realistic. They may be for a while, but over the long haul, I think we have to be smart about how we bring them back. He's got a chance. You know, he gained ground last week during the week, and you know, if we can get him through the next 3 days, you'll see him Saturday. If you don't see him Saturday, that means we didn't get him through the next 3 days. Dorian's got a new cast, which is good news, and so I think he's got a shot, but we haven't seen him in practice yet, really, you know, with the new cast. So hopefully he'll have a more realistic chance now. Well, you know, I don't know. Yeah, we're going to run our offense the way we run it pretty much, and the styles of teams that they've played are a little different than what we are. So, yeah, it kind of adds to it. And I'm not sure we resemble either of those teams real well. And, you know, it won't be as easy to get yards this week. I know that.
You talked about the secondary. You've seen any surprises so far? And, it's Dalton and Sash just kind of get a big
Excuse me. Yeah, I think that competition's pretty even. And, we're doing some good things back there. But it's not like we've really been tested, at this given stage. So I think, again, with our whole football team, we're going to learn a lot more, this week where we're at. I think it's going to be interesting to just see how we perform. Yeah, I think probably the only people that don't would be the first-year freshmen that haven't been involved in this game. Even the guys that were first year last year that didn't travel, I think got a little sense of it. I assume they watched it on TV. So, I think they understand. And pretty much, I think if you've been around this thing one time or even half of a game, I think you get a feel for how intense the rivalry is. And it's one thing to look at statistics or hear people talk about it, but once you've been involved in it, I think you get a better taste. So, the way it is now, I think, just about everybody on both rosters, no matter where they grew up or where they were born, they probably get a feel for it. And, it's a great thing. I'm not quite sure. I wasn't around here when they quit the series. I'm not going to look at anybody that was. I know there's somebody in the room that was probably. But for whatever reason, they discontinued the series at one juncture and brought it back in the 70s. And, I'd be hopeful that they would never discontinue. I think it's a good thing for football in general. Certainly it's good for football in our state.